There we are. Hello. Welcome to Monday's strength class. I was racking my brains what to talk about in this 5 minutes. And then I thought, I don't know why, but I hit upon it again. I think I'd quite like to talk about frailty again. Not as in the Shakespeare quote, frailty, thy name is woman, but proper frailty, physical frailty. So I was looking up what is the definition of frailty, because you hear this thing, the frail, the vulnerable, particularly now with coronavirus or COVID. What does frailty mean? Well, the medical profession usually go on sort of a few tests and things that were defined in 2001. And the first one, if you get 3, if you can say yes to 3 out of these 5, then the medical profession would consider you frail. You may not consider yourself frail, but they might. So it's unintentional weight loss. So if you start losing weight and your eating habits haven't really changed. Feelings of exhaustion. I don't know what that means. I think that probably means not feeling exhausted because you've been rushing around all day, but just generally waking up feeling exhausted, going to bed feeling exhausted for no apparent reason. And I would think it has to be fairly long term and not related to post-long COVID or anything. Weakness, again, is a bit non-specific, isn't it? What does weakness mean? Does it mean not being able to get out of the chair anymore? Does it mean, have you noticed how they're putting tops on jars? They're screwing them on more firmly these days. I'm sure they are. But that's the sort of thing, not being able to get tops off jars, even if they've already been opened, finding it quite difficult. Just maybe not being able to go up and down stairs as easily as you could. But it's a very non-specific thing, weakness, isn't it? Unless you do one of these grippy things. Slow walking. Slow walking is quite a big one, actually. If you notice people walking, it's the way you walk is, hang on, I'm just going to put the television off. The way you walk is sort of related to the speed that you walk, and I will talk about that in a moment. And low levels of physical activity. So if you can, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, if you can say yes to 3 of them, then you might be considered frail, even though you don't consider yourself frail. Frailty isn't something that you wake up on a Monday morning, you were fine on Sunday night, and you wake up frail on a Sunday morning. It takes a long time, and it's a syndrome. So it's a series of conditions lumped together, like those 5, but obviously it's more complicated than that. But this low levels of physical activity one, a lot of people overestimate how active they are. So people think, oh, I'm getting quite a lot of activity. I did a bit of gardening yesterday. I'm fairly active. You need to listen to the government guidelines. I know we don't listen to the government very much, and I know they get things wrong, but I think in this case, they're right. The minimum people should be doing is 150 minutes of, that's about half an hour a day, 150 minutes a week of moderate exercise. That's exercise that makes you a bit sweaty and makes you a bit puffed. So if you're going to do 30 minutes a day, you could do 3 bouts of 10 minutes. Don't do less than 10 minutes. And that can just be, good walking. It can be joining a class, but it's every day. And 2 strengthening sessions a week. So this would count as one of them, and actually the functional fitness that I do on a Wednesday would count as well. But that is the minimum you should be doing. Slow walking. Do you remember I was showing you how to walk before? People walk badly. I'm putting this right down so you can see my feet. You don't need to see my lovely face. As people walk, as people get older and they get less confident and more frail, they tend to just take tiny steps. You need to, first of all, get your posture right. Bring your hands up here, put them down, get your shoulders right. And I've shown you this before. On your heel, use your whole foot. I'm going to be out of shot soon. So you do your whole foot. I'm going to put this down so all you can see is my feet. And I'm going to walk as far as I can in my living room. So you're using your whole foot. Okay? And you're not shuffling, you're picking your feet up. And that helps you avoid helps you avoid trips if you're worried about falling. But it also means that you can go belting along. It's quite an ergonomic way of walking. So what you can do is if you're using your whole foot and you're pushing off with your toes, sorry, you can't see that really. You're doing that and you're pushing off with your toes. You're using your whole foot. Frailty, well, it's not inevitable. And when I was doing this, I just wanted to quickly say that, I mean, I think most of you know that I run, and running is not obligatory. I understand that it's not for everybody. But thinking about frailty and the things I was looking at, they were talking about people over 65. Now, 65 is not old. But anyway, we've got this running competition on at the moment. Our club is in competition with another club where we're going head to head. And I noticed, because in running, they put your age. So the age, once you get past 35, it goes up in 4-year segments or 5-year segments. So I'm V70, and that when I get to V74, it'll change. But once I get to 75, it'll be V75. So I was looking through the results, and the other club have a runner who is V80. So that means he's between 80 and 84. Now, I'm not suggesting this for that this is sort of what you should be doing, but we're doing the race is a 5K. We do it in our own time and we record it and then we submit it. So he's doing a 5K, which is 3.1 miles in old money. So he did that in 31.22 seconds. And I don't know whether he's 80 or whether he's 84. He could be anything in between. And I think that shows that frailty is not inevitable. It's up to you I mean, this is the good news. The bad news is if you don't do it, you're going to get frail. Oh, I hate that word, frail. But the good news is if you do at least 150 minutes a week and 2 strengthening sessions, you should be able to avoid frailty. And maybe even run a 5K in 31.22. I mean, there are people in the club who are much, much younger than that, who don't get anywhere near that. They're in 40 minutes, 45 minutes. So that's the good news, that you can do something about it. So having harangued you for 7 minutes and not 5 minutes, we're now going to start the class. If any of you are new to this, you need to be able to get on and off the floor to fully participate. You're not going to have to get up and down off the floor, because the first half is standing up and the second half is on the floor. So once you're down, you can stay there and do the exercises and then take your time getting up again. And the way to get up is to crawl to a chair or something and just sort of get yourself up. What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to do a separate video showing people how to get down and up off the floor. I won't do it live, but I'll post it on the YouTube channel. I just thought that might be useful for people. So what we'll do is we'll do some warm-ups, and then we'll do the main body of the exercise, and then we'll do some stretching, and hopefully it should take about 35 minutes. It should be, if I don't talk too much, it's fairly snappy. Some of the exercises you will find quite hard, and they are supposed to be hard, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't try them. I don't think there are any exercises that will hurt you, will harm you. And you can try them. If you can only do 1 or 2, that's absolutely fine. It's better than nothing. And we usually do 10 repetitions or 30 seconds of each exercise. And if you can't manage that, that's something to aspire to. So don't get put off and think, oh, I can't do this. Children try again and again and again until they can master something. Grown-ups try it once and think, oh, I can't do that anymore. I'm not going to do it. So it's really important that you keep trying, and practice makes perfect. Right, I'm going to stop lecturing you now, and we're going to start the warm-up. I'm just going to put this down slightly. Is that too much? Maybe, yeah, it's a bit too much. I mean, you can see my feet, and they are quite nice feet. They function okay. Right, so we're going to start just by walking on the spot. If you can, walk on your toes, because it's good for the strengthening your ankles and your calves. Do a slightly exaggerated swing of your arms so that your shoulders are getting mobilized. In the warm-up, what we need to do is warm up the muscles, increase the blood supply to the muscles, and warm up your joints as well, because they've got fluid in there, like a bit like engine oil. And as it gets warm, it gets thinner and lubricates your shoulder. And it's got nutrients in it as well, so it feeds the cartilage. So we're going to keep doing this just for a bit more, a bit longer. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Right, we're going to just concentrate on warming up the arms. So we're going to put both hands on the shoulders and just stretch up. If you can get your arms to your ears, that's great. This is a good one. We're going to be using this throughout the session because I really like it for making sure that your shoulders, your back is nice and centered. But at the moment, we're just going to do this and then back down to your shoulders. You can keep walking if you want and push out and back in and forward and back. It's just sort of waking up your arm muscles. Up like that, out, forward, and one more time. Up, out. I'm standing on my own feet here. Forward and back. Right, I want you to put your hand on your shoulder, make your arm like a wing, sticks out at 180 degrees. Imagine you've got a pencil sticking out of your elbow. And we're going to do 1, 2, 5. We're going to do 3, 4, 5. Nice big circles, just to get full range of movement of your shoulder. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the other one. Nice full range of movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, we're going to raise the arm, one arm, as the other arm comes back. Remember, don't rock, just your arms that move. Get your arm up as far as you can, but don't force it. So, 1, 2, 3. This is really good exercise for your back. 4, the top of your back. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the last one for our arms is start with your arms here, your elbows at 90 degrees, just straight out like that if you can. And we're going to clench your fists and we're just going to bring the arms, the elbows together. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, warm up, still warming up. We're going to do heel digs and at the same time do the opposite arm and leg. Do a bicep curl with your arms. So anchor your elbows, and as this foot comes out, this arm goes up. Now, somebody said to me the other day, I don't know if you're watching, but I don't think she does this class. She's saying, I just can't do the coordination. I'm so uncoordinated. Well, everybody can do it. It just is more difficult for some people. Again, it's I can't do it. 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to just go out to the side and prayer hands are out. So even if you find the coordination difficult, and even if you look down and you think you're doing opposite arm and leg and you're doing same arm and leg, just change it. Just stop and then sort of regroup. We have a huge brain between our ears, and we can actually do most things that we want to do. I mean, within reason. 3, 2, 1. I mean, we can make our bodies do what we want them to do. I know my days of hankering after a career at the Bolshoi are probably over, but doing opposite arm and leg, you just need to practice it until it becomes natural. Remember, if those of you who could drive a car, when you first started learning to drive a car, never thought that it would be, would sort of become automatically. So, but how many of you have driven somewhere and thought, how did I get here? You just automatically coordinate everything, because working the pedals and changing the gears, it's quite difficult looking in your mirror. And anyway, so back, just a step back. And at the same time, you're just going to put your arms out. This is still the warm-up. I just want to make sure that your muscles are nice and warmed up. But this is also strengthening the leg that isn't moving, because the static leg, because it's taking your weight. It's improving your balance. It's improving your coordination. And to a certain extent, your flexibility. So it's all, even although it's a warm-up, it's still useful. 3, all movement is useful. 2, 1. And then the last one is a toe tap. And just swinging the opposite arm. I mean, when you walk naturally, you swing the opposite arm. Your brain just does it automatically because it's a more comfortable way for your body to be. You don't walk like this, not unless you're a bit peculiar. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to put it all together fairly slowly. So heel dig, side, back. This is just to test your coordination. Toe tap, heel dig, side, back, toe tap. Although it's a strength class, it's good to just work on your coordination and your memory. Like I say, no movement is wasted. Toe tap. Last time. Heel dig, side. Oh, I was forgetting myself then what we were doing. Back, toe tap. Right, I hope you're sufficiently warmed up. We're now going to start. Sorry, I should have said you should have a chair here as well, because you might hold on. If you're new, get yourself a chair without arms. Sorry, I should have said that at the beginning. We're going to start with the squat. Now, a squat, if you remember, you don't go down like that. It's sitting without the chair. Your knees do not go over your toes and your knees don't come together. They stay wide. If you can't do a free squat, just do standing up out the chair. Because I don't want you to not do a squat simply because, to miss out on a squat because you can't do a free squat. You can go down to there, and that takes quite a lot of strength on your thighs and your glutes. Just go down to there. As long as you've got the correct technique, that's the important thing. So if you're going down to there, as long as you're sitting, that bottom is out, you will eventually get stronger and you will find yourself eventually, I mean, it might take a few weeks. Sorry, my weight's on my heels, that's why I'm falling backwards. Being able to go down. So we're going to do 10 squats. I'm going to go sideways for 5 and then front on for 5. So I should have said your feet should be at least hip width apart. Your arms are out here. So you go down. 1. Nice and slow and controlled. 2. 3. 4. 5. 6. Imagine you've got headlights on your knees and your chest pointing forwards. 8. 9. 10. Right. We're just going to do a little bit of crab walking. So I want you to get into the squat position. Don't go, if you can go right down, don't. Just go to about there. Okay, but get the technique right. Don't have those knees going forwards. Have that bottom sticking back. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then stand up. Ooh, gets you a bit, that, doesn't it? Give your legs a bit of a shake. And we're going to do it one more time. So just down to where you're comfortable, said she, falling backwards. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason I started doing that is because when I was walking the dog the other day, there was a fallen tree. And it wasn't that far, I mean, it was quite far off the ground. It's too far to get over it. So I had to go under it. And I had to do this. And I found it really difficult just getting down and doing that. So this is a strength one, but it's functional as well. If you ever have to duck under a rope, you know, sometimes there might be a barrier, ducking under the barrier, and that's your muscles that you use. Okay. We're going to do something now that's just for a bit of fun, but it's good for your, just let me get my timer, it's good for your arm muscles. Just give you a bit of recovery time. Oops, just let me get this. Clock, stopwatch. Right, I'm just going to put it there so as I can see it. Right, we're just going to do a bit of punching. Punching is really good because it makes, you're having to use your arm, out and in. Remember, you bend your knees and your hands are here and you're going straight out. And we're going to try it first off for 30 seconds. So I have to keep my eye on it. And we're going to do it in threes. 1, 2, we'll just practice. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay? So off we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, straight out. 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 10 more seconds. 2, 3. 2, 1. Very good. That's actually slightly over 30 seconds because the threes didn't neatly fit in. How was that? Just have a bit of a rest. It does make you puff a bit, doesn't it? We're just going to do it another time. Okay, just to limber up your arms. And remember, it's punching straight. Okay, you can rotate your body a bit. Are you ready? Off we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Halfway. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Woo! That's quite tiring. Ah, I could feel that towards the end of the second 30 seconds. Right. What we're going to do is this is the last exercise standing up. After this, you have to get on the floor. So have your chair here in case you need to hold on to it or something. We're going to do a lunge, and remember the lunge is in four bits. So there's the step forward, there's the dip. Don't put this knee on the floor. Your torso is upright, your back up, and then back. You can either hold on or not as you feel the need. So we're going to go 1. That's 1 done. Remember those headlights On your knees, pointing forward, and on your hips. 2. And your torso upright. This is getting easier actually than it was the first week. 3, that was. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. No frailty here, is there? 9. Last one on this side. 10. And then we're going to do the other side. 1. You don't have to go right down, just go down as far as you're comfortable. 2. But do challenge yourself a bit. 3. Make sure there are 4 distinct movements, because if they all flow into one, that's when you risk falling. It's 4, might be 5, but we're calling it 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Well done. Right, so we're going onto the floor now. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. And as usual, the first exercise, yes, you can see me, is the plank. So you start off kneeling. If you can't kneel, you may want to keep standing, and having just got you on the floor, you may want to keep standing and do it against the wall. But if you lay on your tummy, put your hands under your shoulders, you can push yourself up and then down. You don't need to kneel, but if you can, it's better. So you're kneeling with your hands under your shoulders. Don't have them right out to the side. Have them under your shoulders, maybe slightly, tiny bit wider than your body. Take a step forward with your hands, and then bring your body so that you're, once again, your shoulders are over your wrists. And remember, 5 is what we're aiming for. See if we can do 5 today. So 1, 2. If you can't do the up bit, just do the down bit. 3, you might only be able to do 1. 4. 5. Remember, if you're just doing this and lowering yourself down and then getting yourself back up and then lowering yourself down again is still beneficial. You may not be able to do the up bit. So how's it going with the plank, with the press-ups? You need to practice it. Just doing it today is no good. Doing it on Mondays is no good. You need to practice it throughout the week to get stronger. Right, we're going to do the plank, the beautiful plank that we all love. Right, so lie on your tummy. Elbows under your shoulders like a sphinx. Arms here. Let me know if any of you can do the plank for a minute quite easily, because if you do, I've got a progression that will wipe the smile off your face. And then you go up on your elbows and up on your toes, and off we go. I'll count up in 10-second batches, as it were, so that we know where we're going. This one's for a minute. That's 10. Your head is in neutral, in line with your spine. 20, 30, halfway through. 40, 50, 10 more measly minutes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down we go. Now remember, if that's easy peasy, I wouldn't think it would ever be easy peasy, but if you feel you can manage the minute quite easily now, let me know, because that's the thing with exercising. You need to keep progressing it because the body gets used to what you're doing. Right, side plank. Now, elbow under your shoulder. It's really important. Bend your bottom knee if you need to, so that you can get up. If you don't need to, you put your feet together and up you go. Okay, I'm going to start the watch now. We're only going to do this one for 30 seconds, so don't be worried that we're going to be standing here going to be like this for a minute. Don't think I could do a minute, really. That's the first 10 seconds gone. 20 seconds. Nothing now, is it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Well done. Other side. I'll give you a few minutes, a few seconds to get. I find this side much easier. Maybe I'm much stronger on this side. Oops. You ready? Starting the watch now. Oops. Come on. Sorry, it didn't want to start. 10. 20. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Oh, how was that? Oh, right. We're going to go into the boat now. Now remember, the boat is the one where you hold the back of your knees, bring yourself up. Now, somebody was saying the other day that they find it hard on their legs here. Now, if you're out like that, I think it does take its toll here. But what I would say is get your knees up, have your shins sort of parallel with the floor, put your hands forward if you can, and have your chest as near to your legs as you can. And that way you will feel it on your legs, but you'll also feel it on your abs. Just relax for a moment. So we're going to do that for 30 seconds. We're going to do it twice for 30 seconds. So you can do it like this, like this, like this, or you can alternate, do that when you get tired. Okay, maybe do it along with me. Hang on, my phone's gone off. Always goes off. Right, so back to the knees, hold your feet, hold your knees, hands forward if you want to, if you're going to, and off we go. So I'll do it in tens again if I can see it. So you can straighten if you want. That's 10 seconds. And you can hold on if you need to again. 15. Straighten again. Oh, that's very hardcore. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. It does do your thighs. It is heavy on your thighs. If you want to, just hold your legs for the whole 30 seconds. It's absolutely fine. It's good for your arms as well. But if you need to do that, that's absolutely fine. Maybe take your arms away a bit, like that. You don't have to go hardcore. do what you can to get through it. And it will come eventually, because even doing this, you're getting stronger. Right, up we go again, sorry. And off we go. So holding on here, pushing your hands forward if you want. Remember, there's no obligation. Oh, whoo, sorry. Going to bring them back down there, I think. Halfway through. Going to bring my torso closer to my thighs. Oh, that hurts my abs. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Woo! That's quite a challenge, that one there. And at the tops of your legs as well. So just give your legs a bit of a bounce. But maybe stretch forward a bit just to. Right, last one we're going to do is the bridge. Remember, lying down, have your heels so that you can just touch them with your middle finger. And your thighs are parallel, not out, they're not in, they're not, your knees aren't touching. And they stay parallel throughout the whole movement. And you're going to go up and squeeze your glutes. Just pretend you've got a pound coin between there and you're really hanging on to it. And then we're going to go down, just touch the floor and up. 2. I'm going to do 10. Down and up. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Just check that your legs are doing what you think they're doing. 3. Squeeze. 4. And down and up. 5. Just check your thighs are parallel. 6. 7. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. If you poke your butt, your bum, you can feel the muscles engaging. 7. Have I counted 7 twice? Never mind. 8. 9. And 10. And down we go. And then sitting up. Oh, just lean forward, just hold your ankles, just to get a bit of a bend this way in your back because you've been stretching it the other way. And then get into your feet. Up we get. You know, they say that thing about, I don't believe it myself, that the ability to get to your feet from sitting without using your hands is an indication of how long you'll live, which I think is a load of old rubbish. It doesn't really matter how long well, it does matter how long you live. I'm quite keen on longevity, but it's the journey to the grave. You don't want to be frail before your time. You don't ever want to be frail, actually. Right. What we're going to do is we're going to end with our 3 bouts of 20 seconds of high intensity exercise. This is voluntary. If you feel that, if you've got any heart problems, if some people get frightened when they get short of breath, when they have to pant, they think they're going to die. You're not going to die, generally, hopefully. But some people do get a bit frightened. So if you don't want to do this, that's fine. But it's quite a nice way to end the session. If you've got any heart problems, if you get any pains in your chest or anything like that, stop immediately. If you've got anything wrong with your knees, you might like to do, instead of the high intensity that we're going to do is running on the spot, tiny little, I'm going to go far back, I don't want to do it, tiny little steps, tiny little steps, using your arms. You can do this with your arms if you like. I've seen people actually, or just hang them by your side if you want, but just tiny, not like that, tiny little steps. If you don't want to do that, if you've got something wrong, not something wrong, if you've got arthritis or something, do the punching. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, for the 20 seconds. Or you can mix and match. You can do the running on the spot, for one session, punching, and then go back to the running on the spot. Basically, I want you to get puffed. On your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. How was that? It's really good for you to get puffed because it just makes your heart work better. Your heart's a muscle, and so it needs to work just like any other muscle. I mean, it does keep working all the time, but the more you work it, the more efficient it gets. So if you don't do a lot of exercise, it pumps just that much blood. But if you work it really, if you do a lot of cardiac, it goes boof, and you get more blood volume through. It's just more efficient. That's why athletes have lower heart rates, because they doesn't need to go pitter-patter, pitter-patter, pitter-patter to get the blood around you. It can go woof like that and gets the blood around you more efficiently. Hope there's no doctors or nurses out there that are going to say, that's absolute rubbish, Rosemary. Right, are you ready for the second one? On your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. 2 down, 1 to go. Right, are you sufficiently recovered? Ready? On your marks, set, off you go. "17, 18, 19, 20. Well done. Oops. Right, just while you recover your breath, we're going to go into the stretching. I'll just move this down a bit. We're going to go into the stretching. As usual, if you've liked the class and you want to show your appreciation, you could buy me a coffee, and the link is underneath the video in the comments section. If you want to know more about fitness generally, you can go onto my Over 50 Fitness Facebook page, and that's the link's there as well. Lots of F's in that. If you would be so kind as to like the class, but also to hit the subscribe button, and it just means that it's just like liking the channel, but it can have benefits for me if I've got a lot of subscribers, as they're called. So I think that's all. Subscribers, like the program, like the class, Over 50 Fitness, and buy me a coffee. End of announcements. Let's get into the stretching. No, I won't. It's this Friday. Yes, calf muscle. So both feet pointing in the same direction, back leg straight, front leg bent, heels on the ground, leaning forward, and you should feel the stretch at the top of your calf, almost behind your knee. And then very gently bend your back knee, put a little bit of weight on that, not your whole weight, but a little bit of weight on that foot, and you should feel the stretch moving down into your Achilles tendon. And then swap legs. This is a good exercise if you get calf cramps, I think. And then bend your back knee, feel the stretch moving into your Achilles. Okay, next one we're going to do is the quadricep stretch for these big thigh muscles. So grab your foot, your ankle, your trouser leg. If you can, And you can hold on or not as you like. It's not a balancing exercise. If you can't manage that, just put your hands behind your back and just try and kick your hands with your heels. If you can't manage it, it doesn't matter. Just the fact that you're moving your leg this way means that the muscle is stretching. I'm going to do a static stretch because I want to practice my balance. But those people that are moving, that's dynamic stretching. You just keep being dynamic. Oop. And then static stretchers, switch legs. Dynamic stretchers, keep doing your thing. Keep doing what you were doing. Oops. I have to hold on there. I was overbalancing a bit. Okay. Right, we're going to do hamstrings, the back of the legs, big muscles there. Sitting in the chair, at the front of the chair. Oh, I forgot to check our back all the time, didn't I? I meant to do that throughout this session and I forgot, but we're going to do it now. So just bring your hands up by your ears if you can. And then just hold them there for a few seconds and then put them down. That's your back nice and straight. Don't sort of go back into a slumping position again. Nice and straight. And then one leg comes forward, toe pulled back, keeping that nice straight back. Lean forward from the hips, not from the waist. And then sit up. And the other one, just recenter your back again. Sitting up nice and straight, lean forward. Okay, last one in the chair. I'm just bringing the chair here so as you can see what I'm doing. Sit sideways on the chair, but at the front of the chair as well. And then you're just going to, keeping your torso upright, stretch this leg out behind. Some of you may not be able to stretch it that far. May only go to there. That's absolutely fine. Just if you feel a stretch, you need to feel a stretch here. I can feel it stretching there. And then turn around. You know what I was saying about the government guidelines and the minimum you should be doing? Rather than guessing, why don't you keep a note of what you do every week and then have a look? I mean, I haven't really mentioned my 6K daily steps challenge, have I, since January? Maybe I should start that again. Well, not start it because I never stopped it, but I haven't mentioned it. Maybe start it in March because next week is March, isn't it? So maybe for the whole of March, try and do 6,000 steps every day. Or if you can't do 6,000, start where you can and then build up to 6,000. Hasn't really been walking weather January, February, has it? It's been more walking weather for the ducks or for polar bears. Right. Arms at shoulder height, palms facing forward. Round the tree, so it's round rather than like that. Shoulder height, and then dip your head. And then if you can, interlock your fingers behind your back. If you can't, just try and get your elbows together. And if you can't interlock, just lift so that you're getting a stretch across your chest. And then last one, I'm just going to put this up slightly. Last one, have your hand in the air, palm facing back, and just drop your arm down your back like that. If you've got shoulder mobility problems, just leave this one out. And then push this arm back till you feel a stretch there. It took me quite a long time. That's what it looks like at the back, going quite far back. It took me a while before I actually felt any benefit from this one. I don't know, maybe I was doing it wrong. And then release it, and then do the same with the other one. And that's it. Thank you very much. So don't forget, 150 minutes a week, or half an hour a day, plus your strengthening exercises. Obviously it's up to you, but and exercise is something that the more you do it, the easier it becomes, the more pleasurable it becomes. I really don't like these programs that, well, most people go on, oh, exercise on the news and everything. I know, as if it's a chore. It shouldn't be a chore. Use your body. Your body's wonderful. Right, I'm going to stop because I'm preaching now. And I'll see you on Wednesday if you're going to do the functional fitness class. Bye.